Hello, Black family. Shaquita Graham here with Nomalanga, Mhlauli-Moses, and we have founded MarriedWomen'sBiz.com. And excuse me if I'm a little I feel a little dizzy because we came across this article. Well, actually, this is tales from my timeline. And let me just share this with you because I just don't know what else to do. Okay. This says that Young Thug said that just because he said just cuz I sleep with men don't mean I'm gay. And the person who posted this, I didn't want to divulge who she is because I haven't gotten her permission to do so. But she said, what kind of sourdough foolishness is this? And then another article shows this more on this, saying that he says, yeah, I sleep with men and women, but that don't mean I'm gay. Cause trannies like Caitlyn Jenner don't count. He used to be a man, said Young Tangy Thug, which is a new name they claim he gave himself because he wants to be a woman, in an interview. And then somebody says, a Young Thug fan says, girl, he needs to stop. If you sleep with dudes, you're gay. He's really disrespecting the LGBT by refusing to come out the closet, all of this. And it's just more and more and more and a lot and too much. Okay. What say you, Noma?
Well, you know, I've said this before. I'm 100% heterosexual. So I'm just to try to stay out of homosexual people's business. But that being said, I have heard that, you know, in being homosexual, they have a spectrum from being a little bit to a lot gay. And maybe he's just a little bit, and I'm having a hard time getting all this out without cracking up, because honestly, if you sleep with men and you're
giving the side eye. This is the side
yeah.
eye.
If you sleep with men and you're a man, as far as I can tell, or from what I understand, that makes you a homosexual. If you do that and you sleep with women as well, that makes you at the very least bisexual. Now, honestly, that's
No, really? Okay. I'll just go from there. Listen, I am not into policing anybody's bedroom, especially grown people. Like, I really don't care about any of that. But what I do care about is people purposely targeting our children for something that they are not asking for, don't need, and are not into. So my thing is, if you decide you want to sleep with dogs, horses, and all of that, don't, as a country, as a state, as an organization, funnel all your money into promoting sleeping with horses specifically to Black kids. And that's what I feel like is being done. And one example of that, I'm going to share my screen on it, if I can figure out how to do that.
I want to be mindful. Sleeping with horses, the horse is not consenting. Whereas I believe that if they're adults and they're homosexual and they sleep with each other, again, that's their business. What they do in their bedrooms is their business.
Well, some people do sleep with horses now.
Absolutely, but I'm speaking up for the horse and saying that the horse didn't consent.
Okay, because, you know, I just don't want anybody to feel like, you know, that's a wrong comparison, because people do all kinds of things in the bedroom. And what I'm just saying is, whatever you do is fine. But now you have a situation right here, and I don't even want to show the picture, but you have over $400,000 being spent to study the meaning and function of this. They make flowery terms. The meaning and function of first penetrative same-sex sexual experience of Black youth. So now they're Black youth. This is kids. They are studying. This is John Hopkins being given a federal grant to study Black teenagers, Black male teenagers, having being penetrated by grown men even. So now that is an example of, you know, you targeting, I mean, and that's not just the only example, but our men being targeted by this specifically. Now, if somebody just happens to grow up and be this way or whatever, that's one thing. But for you to use propaganda for the purpose of genocide by, you know, and effeminating Black men so they can be less effective in the war that's against them, I have a problem with that.
Yeah. The other thing that I think it's important to note, again, you know, just if I say that homosexuals have nothing to do with me because I am not one, so it's not my business. The one thing I can say is that how it does affect a lot of Black women, and a lot of people said that we exaggerated this, is men who say that they're not homosexual but sleep with men and then go and sleep with women who don't know that they've been sleeping with men. And that is not only traumatizing for a woman to find out, it's also not what she signed up for. And also they're exposing them to diseases that they don't know that they're being exposed to, which is also a violation of that woman.
I mean, and absolutely. I mean, the thing is, you know, my thing is that I promote the Black family, because that is promoting strength for the Black community. That is promoting the opposite of the war that is being waged against Black people. And I mean, we have a site, you know, our Facebook page is marriedwomensbusiness.com, and we go, I mean, Married Women's Biz on Facebook, and we go out of our way to show beautiful examples and images that the mainstream media won't show you, of family, of Black women, of Black men, which I had to see to clear my mind just a second ago, and Black love, because, you know, I could see if the images were being portrayed evenly and in a balanced light, but they're not. And the thing is that our kids are exposed to this craziness right here, because this dude has a 1.2 million followers. And
1.6 million on Facebook.
Right. And so, again, my favorite book right now, amongst many others, Trojan Horse, Death of a Black Nation. And it talks about how Black children watch more TV than any other single demographic group in America. This means Black children are reading fewer books, learning less, and getting a fatal overdose of white supremacy, Black inferiority programming, as well as this homosexual programming at the most critical brain development stage of their young lives. Children don't have to understand the content or context of the media's subliminal messages to absorb them. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's been studied over and over again that whatever you're exposed to, whether you accept it or reject it, the longer you're exposed to it and continue to be exposed to it, the more normal it looks. And actually, over time, you end up accepting it. This has been done also with violence. People who are exposed to violence on constantly, even when they in the beginning look at it and think, oh my God, this is horrific or terrible, or oh my goodness, these people are getting shot or they're getting killed or beaten or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. If you keep seeing it over and over and over and over again, your mind starts to accept it as normal. And you'll actually find that a lot of people who end up growing up to be physically abusive are people who've been exposed to physical abuse, whether it was directed at them or they saw it happening to somebody else. And at the time that they saw it, they thought it was terrible, but somehow they end up in a situation where they actually have normalized it, and that's how they respond to all situations. So you can imagine if you're a parent and your kids are being exposed to any number of things that you can't control because you can't control the media, at least not mainstream media, you just can't control what they're going to normalize later, now and later in life.
Right. And also in this book, she talks about the fact that, you know, Black male images have been under attack in the media for a long time, whether it's, she talks about Black men are more likely to be seen wearing handcuffs, in prison, in the back of a squad car, riddled with bullets on the street, lying on a slab in the morgue. In short, you know, it gives the portrayal of Black men as losers. And then when these sick images are fed to Black children on a daily basis, what do girls internalize about themselves, Black men, and their future possibilities as women, wives, lovers, and mothers? So again, it's not an attack on what anybody wants to do in their bedroom, sleep with dogs, sleep with men, sleep with transvestites, whatever. But why are you, the media and music industry has a habit of propping up these ideas, these alternative lifestyles or whatever, to specifically for Black children, and use it as propaganda. And that's disgusting, and we need to stop supporting these entertainers that they throw in front of our face and our kids' faces. And that's all I have to say. No many last words.
Well, you know, honestly, Shaquita, up until today, when we came across the story, I didn't even know who this person was.
Right, but our kids know who they are.
And that's where I was going. However, I do have to be mindful of the fact that just because I'm not exposed to something, it doesn't mean that through, you know, music videos and through television and so forth, the things that I may not be exposed to, I have to assume that my kids are not being exposed to them, because they could be. So that's definitely something worth considering. Although I will say my kids do have some measures in place to control what they're exposed to.
Oh yeah, my kids aren't exposed to it.
Right.
No, but when I say I say the Black community,
right.
The collective.
So you and I obviously don't only care about each other and each other's kids. We care holistically about everybody's kids. And that's really where we're going with this, is that this is something that we're seeing on television, on media in general. We got this off of a blog, you know, and the blog post wasn't necessarily even saying, wow, look at this, this is not right. It was just putting out there what is out there.
So anyway, you know, join us at marriedwomensbiz.com. So you can see the promotion of positive and authentic Black images and perspectives.
Black families.
And Black families, if that's what interests you and your family. So thank you so much for viewing. Thank you, Noma, for having this conversation with me. And we'll see you guys in the next video.